Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tartar Zone's Chill Zone. So what we're going to do here for this stream, there's a little bit of confusion. So basically, I'm just going to bring some people on, and we're just going to see what topics those guys would like to talk about because um, we kind of are restricted a little bit when it comes to the other streams because they're focused on certain topics and stuff like that. So this stream is just going to be kind of randomness, talk about whatever. It's not necessarily going to be about TV and movies. It'll be whatever. And if any of you guys would like to ask us any questions in the chat, go ahead. I'll throw them up if they're appropriate, of course. And I will, me and the panel will answer as many questions as we can. But we've only got one guest with us at the moment. I'm pretty sure the rest of the guests, will join us a little bit later. I know Queen Charlotte probably won't be here till about 7. But we will be finishing at 7:30. I have to fly off, as I said. This is why we started a half an hour early. So I have to leave. I can't even stay behind and have a little chat with me panelists because, I've got stuff to do. So we had a lovely dinner today as well. I made it from scratch. It was gorgeous, I have to say. So I'm actually cooking proper meals now instead of the big huge meals that we used to eat, and I'm making all mad food now. So this is the type of stuff we'll just be talking about, random stuff really. But let's bring on one of my guests that has joined us for tonight. It's the one and only PD Rich, and he was in the chat earlier on, modding away for us as he always does, throwing those channels in because we do try and support as many content creators as we can on this channel. I think it's the one thing that we've actually kept up all of these years is supporting new content creators, but also those people that we've met along the way on this mad journey. But as I said, we got PD there. We got a couple of people in the chat. So let's see. We got garbage at the moment. But we have got 12 people watching. So people will start coming in and chatting chat away. So so I'll just start off, PD, by asking you how you've been. Anyway, we'll start off there. As I said, it's more relaxed. It's not too serious. So how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How you doing, mate?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll fix the avatar in a second. Yeah,
Oh,
it's gone funny again. Yeah, you know it goes.
All right on StreamYard, so
Yeah, it's fine here.
Yeah, it's mad. Thank you, Noel, for the stream that talks and reacts to its chat that only a few channels do now. Yeah, I have to say, I do agree. Even though you get super chats, I don't like. Yes, they pay to get their comment read out first. That's fair enough. Yeah, and I agree with that. But you should never, I agree with you, you should never abandon the other people in the chat that maybe can't give a super chat because also they might have a valid point too. So we've always tried to be as interactive as we can on here and try to get everybody involved as much as we can. So I really appreciate that, garbage. But yeah, just obviously, there you go. Apparently, it's fixed there. So the
Yeah, just fixed it.
Right, grant. So yeah, Great Charlotte should be. I think now I should have actually checked Facebook. I did send her an email, but I know she's been half an hour delayed. And obviously she's not a half an hour. She won't be a half an hour late because we're supposed to actually really start at 7. So she probably will be here at 7, more than likely. I should have checked my messenger just to see. That's my bad. Just in case I did get a message, because she normally lets me know if she's going to be here or not. So I'll just send her a message to let her know that an email is sent anyway.
Hey, we're so chilled here that they're not turning up.
Anyway, is there anything on your mind that you want to?
Oh, the only thing on my mind is how good Star Trek Picard is.
Right, go on. Well, don't ruin. I obviously haven't seen the latest two, but
not to say if you haven't seen episode 8, well, no, 9 and 10 I haven't seen yet. I've only seen the preview.
No, I haven't seen. I stopped that. I think I stopped at 6 because I was getting kind of very frustrated having to wait a week for the next episode. So I wanted them to pile up. I was going to watch them last night, but then I changed my mind again because I know the third episode is out this week.
How did you survive the 90s?
Oh, I survived them.
This was the 90s. This was us in the 90s. We all had to do this. We had to wait a week to see the next part. It was always a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten used to the binge watching model. I don't think it does work, to be quite honest, anymore. But it did when they first used to do it. I actually think a lot of people, when they do, Netflix still do it with some shows, when they drop them, drop the whole thing in a week. It's just not. It's not. People stop talking about it after a couple of weeks. Whereas if it's on every week, everybody's talking about it all those weeks, and it stays in the mainstream. But yeah, that's what I'm like now. I don't even know why I started it in the first place, but everybody was talking about it. I didn't want that and spoiled, so I started watching it. But I've been lucky now. I have to be honest. I haven't seen any major spoilers for the last 2 episodes because I've tried to avoid. If I see a tweet anybody talking about Picard anyway, I scroll up now. I don't even want to look what they're saying. So nothing has been ruined for me. So yeah, scene 7 and 8 is garbage. 7 and 8 are the 2 weakest episodes according to Garbage. Well, I'll have a look anyway. I've really enjoyed the show so far, and I think it's been getting better each week. If it is true that 7 and 8 are the weakest, I mean, in fairness to it, it's done. Everybody. If you hear the naysayers out there, they're just waiting on that and to hate it. But if it is the 2 weakest, I'm not saying you're hating on it, by the way. There's other people out there. They'd be waiting for these to be the 2 weakest episodes because they want something to complain about. Garbage. They are good, but the weakest. I mean, every series does have that. Every series, even RTD's 4th season, Doctor Who had that. There was a couple of episodes where there was a bit of a null. It happens.
You get it.
You get it before the finale anyway. It was probably done deliberately as well, though. Kind of the tone, everything done.
Yeah.
Build up the finale, which is now getting a cinema release. So that just goes to show you how successful this season actually has been. So I think we can finally say to the naysayers, you can suck it.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is after the big explosion, I was in tears.
Oh, okay.
It's such a good little part. It's such a throwback to what Star Trek was about and Next Generation was about. It's just,
Right. I'll have a look. I'll have a look because I don't want anybody to spoil it for me, and please don't, because someone's 2 people spoiled movies on me over the years. Endings to movies. I'm not messing. The James Bond one, and I know. Don't get me wrong. I know the last James Bond movie got a lot of stick off people, but I was looking forward to it. And someone let the cat out of the bag and told me the ending, and I was bleeding pissed because I then wouldn't watch the movie for months, and then I finally said, you know what, feck it, I'm gonna watch the movie. And I don't care what people say about it, right? For me, it was the perfect ending for Daniel Craig's Bond. Right, maybe not for the franchise, right? But for Daniel Craig's Bond to go out the way he did, it actually made sense. And I don't really particularly get why people are actually mad at that, because they've always talked after Daniel Craig that they were thinking of rebooting this franchise again anyway. So, if they're going to be doing that, Daniel Craig's one kind of bookends that era of Bond, and I think that's a good thing. Now we could talk, and apparently it's going to maybe feature the Cold War. The rumors are now, so exactly what me and Lee especially was saying, he would like it to go back to that old style, and I was the same. I agreed 100% because it will work, and now the rumor seems to be that might be the case. So I'm actually delighted for that. So at least there's someone out there that has a bit of common sense. We got Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture in the chat. How are you? As I said, though, if you have any questions for me and PD, it doesn't have to be on anything in particular. You can just throw out if there's a question that you've always wanted to ask either one of us. This is your opportunity again, within reason, of course.
Yeah,
we're not gonna.
Personal.
Yeah. Like there is a bit of a line, as they say. But yeah, I'm with PD. I said it from the beginning. As soon as I start watching Picard season 3, it is brilliant, and I hope people, as I said earlier on the last stream, I hope people give it a go. And don't listen to anybody, include me and PD, and the people that hate it. The only way you can judge these things is if you watch them yourself.
I turn around and say to this one, I say, watch the first couple of episodes, judge it for yourself, but it's worth a watch.
It is. It's a slow burner at the start. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of plot threads happening. But it's not really difficult to follow the plot threads. I have to be honest, right? Yeah. But the thing about it is, it's so well written. The characters, even Raffi, man, the change in that character completely. Is just that actress was always a good actress, and she got an unfair stick because obviously the way her character was written. But now I think you're seeing the best of that actress, man. Most definitely. Picard as well, Riker. It's just good to see them all back. I haven't seen the other surprises, and I know there are some, but I've kept away from what they are. I don't know what they are, but I know some more shit is happening because I do follow Terry. But I've been avoiding him like the plague lately because obviously I don't want that spoiled.
I've got a lot of respect for Terry Matalas, a hell of a lot. And I just think Star Trek would be in such safer hands if it was under his control.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think PD would agree as well. I like Geordie LaForge's daughter. She's a great actress. Yeah.
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
She was. I have to be honest. I thought to myself, wait, here we go now. There's going to be people giving out about this and all of that. But even in the first episode, you're seeing that she was going to have a role and have potential. And, I think she's great. I think Geordie LaForge's daughter is great, man. There's nobody that uses this whole excuse that Picard season 3 is woke and all of this doesn't stand up in this series. And I'll tell you why. It's because the characters are written well, as I said.
That's it.
Right? The characters are written well. And I'd even go as far as to say is even the dialogue is not, there's none of that messaging going on the way it's gone on in Discovery and on other shows like that. It's rightly toned down, and they've just concentrated on the characters and the writing the way it should be. And that's why that season is such a success. And again, I told you, Hollywood has to look at this. Look, all of this messing, all of this pandering needs to stop now.
Yeah.
Right? Look at these people say that they'll boycott, they won't watch the movies and all of this, right? Trust me, you won't be in any trouble at all, okay? You've seen it with Super Mario Brothers movie. You've seen it with Maverick. You've seen it with the Joker. You've seen it with Ghostbusters Afterlife, right? If you make good content, people will flock to it. Remember, you are pandering to a small minority on the whole planet. Right, small minority of people on the whole planet, right? And you're failed. You're losing money, right? I didn't even mention Sonic the Hedgehog, which I did earlier on. Another successful franchise. But again, you have critics saying, "Oh, it's lazy. It's this, that, and the other." No, it's not lazy.
Well,
It's
no, it's
lazy if the writing is bad, but it's not. It's not lazy to get an established franchise and decide that you're going to make a movie out of it and write it properly, have the characters in it. Even at first, when people saw, what's his name, Donut Guy and his missus, and they thought, oh, here we go again, another blah 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 casting. No, no, it wasn't. Absolutely fantastic, brilliant movie. I love that. Listen, I'm a Super Mario Brothers fan, right? Grew up with
no.
Nintendo, Super Nintendo, played all the games, right? Okay, played them all, right? Love Super Mario. I even have a soft spot for the movie with Dennis Hopper, right? It's and Bob Hoskins. It's absolutely awful as a movie, but I
Oh yeah.
have a soft spot for it, right? I know Seth Rogen or something came out and said that it's the worst movie ever made, a game movie ever made, or something to that effect. I disagree. It has its charm. Um, and I have a soft spot for it. And I think Bob Hoskins was actually great casting for Mario at the time. I really do. I know that was controversial, that casting, just like obviously the voice acting done by what's his face, Chris Pratt, and everybody was giving out about that. But look how it turned out. It turned out grand.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hollywood, BBC, all of these other companies, you really need to open your eyes now and read the room. If you
Yeah.
make stuff that is well written, has great characters, and yes, you can dip into all of these different genres and IPs, right? We're not saying now you should focus on all of that because then that's just ridiculous. You have to mix it up, of course. This
Oh
is
yeah.
where you have gone wrong for years. You don't get the balance right. It's like when all this superhero genre came out, like it's still going. Like you haven't realized that DC and Marvel are both stale now. It needs a
Oh
break
yeah.
for it
Very.
needs a break for a couple of years. So while it's great to see these game movies being done, I don't want an oversaturation of those type of movies. You could dip into other IPs as well, right? You could do that, and then you can also, as we say, you have to come up with some original stuff. But when you do the original stuff again, you make it with the aim of good writing, building these characters, and having a good plot, obviously. But as soon as you start, pandering, you'll fail.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just gone on too long. I mean, they've milked it too much with Marvel and DC, and it's just dying. And DC is constantly, oh, let's do another origin story. Oh, let's do the origin story again. Let's all do the origin story with another director. People are bored of the origin story. They want something new.
Right, here's a question from Scottish Stavros. I don't know how to. Okay, who would you get to play you in a movie? Question for both of you. Oh Jesus. PD, you can go first. Who would you get to play
Uh,
you in a movie?
I know Henry Cavill can grow a mustache, but can he grow a goatee? Because I'd get Henry Cavill to play me.
Right, so Henry Cavill for PD. Um, I would have to get Colin Farrell to play me. I'd have to get an Irish actor, actually. Um, we
Yeah,
look nothing alike, I have to say. I mean, I've got long hair now, and
yeah,
I have a beard now, which I actually shaved today. I mean, I still have the beard, but I trimmed it down because it was getting wild. But here's a laugh. I'll give you as a laugh actually before. So Colin Farrell it is, right? But he looks nothing like me. But I'd get him because he's funny and because he's just as brutal as I am, and I think he'd play it well.
yeah.
But I'll give you a laugh, right? When I start first growing a beard, Cheryl hated it.
Oh,
Absolutely hated it. I go to her today. I'm going to shave it all up. No, you won't. So now she likes it.
oh, she likes it
It's weird.
now.
Yeah, she likes it now.
Yeah.
Apparently, my face doesn't look weird now, or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh dear.
Can we talk about the Marvels trailer, which the 20-year-old who sounds like a screechy 6-year-old I will be talking about that on Thursday when I do my preview Friday night contact stream for members. And as far as I know, you're a member. So if you pop in, I'll talk about it. But all I'll say about this movie is, right, because I'm not going to watch this movie. So for me, having an opinion on it is not really, you shouldn't, as I said, if I'm not going to watch it, I give an opinion on it. It's not really a valid opinion. But I did watch the trailer, and all I will say is that, yeah, they're in the studios are in serious trouble. Apparently, this movie was delayed because the CGI apparently was bad, and they had to. I don't know if it was being re-edited or something like that. I don't know, but they had this. This movie was delayed. This movie is going to be an absolute failure for a couple of reasons. You've already got all the feminists out in force, especially the journalists attacking anybody that has said anything bad about the trailer, the usual. You also have people out there with check marks that are literally insulting their customer base. On top of that, you've got a lead that nobody likes, right, in Brie Larson. And again, another point is, how long is it since the Captain Marvel? How many years is it now since Captain Marvel?
Yeah, it's been a good 5 or 6 years.
Right, 5 or 6 years, and now all of it, right, okay. Again, she's not really the main person in her own so-called sequel. It's about the Marvels. But no, I don't see this doing well. Again, though, people will say, well, this will be the final nail in the coffin. But unfortunately, these companies don't learn, and they'll just throw out more. They just throw out more. This genre has actually run out of steam. That's all that's wrong here, actually. It's run out of steam, and in fairness, though, since so many changes with DC, so many changes with Marvel since obviously Endgame and all of that. The movies and the TV shows that they've put out just have not hit the highs. It's badly written. You're putting out average movies. If average, and I'm being generous there, you're putting out average movies. Some of these movies are actually making a loss. It's not looking good. This genre has run out of steam, and now James Gunn for DC has this brand new plan, and somehow he thinks he's going to reinvigorate this by bringing in characters that nobody hardly knows as a way of regenerating it and re-energizing it. Now, it might work. In fairness to him, it might work, but I highly doubt it. This genre has run out of steam as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, totally run out of steam.
Garbage. The answer to your question is this movie is not a movie that I'm actually interested in, but I gave you my opinion there, but it's not really a valid one because, to be quite honest with you, I'm not going to watch. But if we predict what happened the last movie, how Brie Larson held herself with the fans and how she's going to react now, because God, she will react, trust me. It's not going to go down well. So we'll see, but they'll keep churning them out. But we got Queen Charlotte. She's here. I told you she'd be here around 7 because I started half an hour early, so my fault. But she's here.
Hello, everybody. I was eating tea. So
it's grand. We're finishing in half an hour because I got some stuff to do. So that's why we started a half an hour early. But let's see, 2,000 likes from 269,000 views. The trailer. Wow.
What's the downvotes now on it? Because when I looked, they didn't look that bad compared to what they can get on trailers.
Yeah, but you see, I think what's happened there is that people are not deliberately going in to dislike the trailer anymore. They just don't care. They're
That's
just
what
not.
I saw.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought this would have a massive dislike, and I was like, actually, that's quite reasonable.
Yeah, it's just people have just look. It is. It's fatigue. It's run out of steam.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter if this movie. Look, even if this movie is right, I'll play devil's advocate. Say this movie is better than Captain Marvel, and it actually does do the characters justice, and it's a great movie. It's still gonna underperform for the simple fact is there's fatigue. People are just sick and tired of going into the cinema and watching these type of movies now. They need a break.
Well, they're fed up of Marvel. I think that's more what you're seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Totally.
Marvel has become, the humor's come predictable. Like, the way they write their characters has come predictable. Maybe they think by having 3 leads in this, it will make more buzz. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're banking on with the Marvel stuff.
I wish her the best, but it's not a movie that I'm interested. I made the point as well. It's like the Barbie movie is getting a lot of stick, but we got to remember, right? The Barbie movie is not aimed at us. That movie, right? If you look at the trends now with Sonic the Hedgehog, Ghostbusters Afterlife, right, and the Super Mario Brothers movie, there seems to be this niche for these type of genres, right? So this Barbie movie may look. I laughed at the trailer.
I did.
Right?
I was going to say that was a good trailer,
right? But I agree with you. It was a good trailer, but even Margot Robbie says that she never thought they'd make this movie because it's a Barbie movie. But this movie, make no mistake about it, is going to be a box office smash because there just seems to be. I'm telling you, this movie is going to do really well. And I think this is a future route Hollywood could go down. But as I said earlier on before you come on, they've got to get the balance right. We don't want to go down this route and then, like they've done with the superhero genre, and keep going with it. You know what I mean? Mix it up a little bit, get the balance right.
Do you know what I think it is? And this is my little theory. I think about like Mario, like Barbie, like some other movies I've seen. I think Hollywood is finally realizing we need uplifting again. We need silly again. Me and my brother both said this. We're seeing a lot of, if people don't know the term, I would say daft movies, which are a bit silly.
Whimsical.
They know they're silly, so they're daft. And I think because we've had so much of like,
we had them movies in the 90s. We had those movies in the 90s and the early 2000s, and you're right.
That's what I'm saying. I think Hollywood's realizing they've had such a cycle of depressing, dour, dark. Now we're going back to a bit of bright again, a bit of silly, a bit of whimsical, like PD said, those sort of movies.
Yeah, and we should support these. And to be honest, we should support these projects, folks.
Yeah,
because as I said, it's very easy to criticize, and it is. It's very easy to criticize. We all do it throughout our life. We're critical of some things. We all are, right? But we've got to. We're the fans, right? We're the customers. So we've got to kind of steer these companies in the right direction. So when they do make movies like Mario and they smash records, we should support that. The same with Ghostbusters. Now the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming. I think it's next year or the year. I'm not 100% sure, but that movie is already is a post-production. So they're even in the UK, they were a few weeks back, right? But we've got to support that, because if everybody liked Afterlife and was a fan of Afterlife, you show them that you want these movies. You know what I mean? You show them by speaking up and saying, yes, this was great. You don't say it's bad for the sake of being bad because you want to be popular with everybody. You've got to also praise along with being a fan. A fan is praises when it's good and obviously is critical of it when it's bad, right? It's as simple as that. That's what you are as a fan. And you've got to be honest and truthful about these things. But also, you've got to send a message to these Hollywood bigwigs. If you make movies like that, you will get an audience. You will break records. You will make money. And that's what it's all. That's why Tom Cruise is still going. You look at all the actors that he came up with. They're all doing B movies now, right? Their careers kind of slid down a little bit, right? His has continued to grow. And why? right? It doesn't matter about his religious beliefs and all that, but if the rumors are to be believed, actually, he's distanced himself over the years now, because I think he's realised the kind of damage and the influence that they had on him, and he's distanced himself over the last few years, apparently, from Scientology. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But look at the movies he's making. That Mission Impossible franchise is absolutely brilliant. I didn't realise how good it actually was. I'm looking forward to his two movies to end that franchise. I cannot wait. Right, Maverick, brilliant movie. I'd even go as far as to say, listen, give us another fucking sequel. It was that good. Because I'm telling you now, Tom Cruise over these last few years, and I don't care what anybody says, and I'll back him up here, he hasn't made a bad movie in the last few years. He has made some really, really great movies. If you haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow as well, what a cracking movie. I'm still waiting for that sequel. Right? That sequel's supposed to be coming out the last few years. I'm waiting on that sequel. He keeps talking about that. That's what he'll probably do after Mission Impossible, and I hope he does. But Tom Cruise deserves to be up on top, and we should support these movies because that's the type of cinema. Remember, was it Steven Spielberg that said? Was it Steven Spielberg that said to him, "He literally saved their asses. You saved their ass." Like, come on, give us what we want now. Scottish Stavros has a question, and as I said, we will answer any questions anybody has, and we got Leland in the chat as well. So I want to say hello to Leland as well. Welcome. It's nice to see you. So Daniel's question is, how much longer do you think this woke trend in entertainment will last? Well, listen, me, Chris, a.k.a. Ballstreck, I don't know who else was on the channel, but we literally had that very same conversation. And if I remember, I thought it was going to run out of steam, and it looked like it did during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
But Chris again called it. Chris said, no, this hasn't even gone anywhere. Like, it might have slowed down, but it's still there. I don't know, Daniel. Trends normally and fads normally die out, but if you look what's coming with Star Wars over the next couple of years, there is no sign of this stopping now. I think what's happened is the people that are ruining our entertainment have gotten so powerful that this is not going to go away. We might get movies like Super Mario. They're the projects that we should support. Let them sink. They're going to sink a lot more franchises out there. They're going to destroy a lot more IPs out there, unfortunately. But I don't know, mate. I don't think there is a timeline on this anymore.
I think it's hard to call, but I think certain sectors of the industry
are copping on.
Fully woken up now.
Yeah.
I think Mario's going to cause shockwaves.
Yeah.
Because we've all said this. Look at how the critics and the establishment reacted to when that movie first came out. They were all against it. And they were all gonna you look at some reviews, they're all saying, no, it's not gonna make money, it's not gonna make money. And now it's made all the money. So I think certain things, they're all little markers that mean certain parts of the industry are gonna look at those markers and go, do you know what? We're not gonna follow this trend anymore. Star Wars is not gonna change anytime soon. I agree with that. As long as you've got that woman in charge of that company, it's not changing.
Oh, yeah.
But I think, like I said, Nintendo's going to be a big player now because with the Mario movie. They're going to be the kings of animation for the next 5 years, is my prediction. So I think animation's going to have a bit of a break from this sort of political rubbish. I think I still think Warner seems to be very wising up to this, and they're a big name. Do you know? So I think certain names, I agree with Noel, they're not going to change. They've shown their colours, they're not going to change. But I think other names that actually want to make money are going to realise we can still do diverse stuff, but we don't need to do all of it in all of our projects. We're going to space it out and have certain properties which aren't going to have it. and we're going to have certain properties that are going to be chock full of it.
Sure, do you know the female journalist that actually slagged off the Super Mario Brothers movie and didn't actually
Some of them
understand,
are changing their tune now, though.
right? But the funny thing is, I'm just had to actually go in because while we were talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and about some of the criticism, I brought this up earlier on. The very same journalist that criticized the Super Mario movie also was criticized for her review of the trailer of Sonic the Hedgehog and the movie. Same thing. See, this is what she's not a journalist, right? We have to stop calling these people journalists. They've been labeled as journalists, but in reality, they're all activists, right? They've got their ideology. And the thing about it is, when they review these movies, as I said earlier on, they don't review them with a clear mind or an unbiased from an unbiased position. No, they've got their biases, they've got the ideology, and then when they're reviewing the trailers and reviewing the movies, that's how they're reviewing them, in that kind of vein, in that fashion, right? They're not just going in with a clear head and just judging this movie on its merits. You have to talk about Me Too and the obsession of Bowser over Princess Peach and all of this other rubbish, right? Now, the critics have been proven wrong, so-called critics. But the thing about it is, she'll do it again when the next project comes along, and she'll do it again. How many? And she's not the only one, by the way. I'm not just picking. It's just her review this week got the most attention because it was absolutely ridiculous. But we've got to start calling these people out. I'm sorry. You're not a fan. You haven't done proper research. And as I said earlier on my last stream, you could pretend that you know what you're talking about. All you have to do is do 5-minute research about Super Mario and find out why he's in all the different costumes, right? And you can con your audience, right, into pretending that you know what you're talking about. But when you come on and you don't do your research, and then you allude to the Me Too movement, and as I said, you start bringing up, the obsession and why Super Mario's dressed as a furry. I'm sorry, you've lost all credibility. We've got to stop giving these people the time of day. They are not critics, right? They're not professional critics, right? And I have no problem with an amateur critic if they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
and you know me, I've always said on this channel, I kind of just try to talk about the topics that I'm familiar with. I don't really you know that. That's why I do Friday Night Contact and I have the two lads on, because they're more in with some of the topics that we might cover, and there's some that I am interested in that I will cover. Do you know what I mean? But that's it. I just don't get the mentality, and then she goes on a YouTube channel and just embarrasses herself. I mean, come on, just leave it out. And then, as you said, Charlotte, they backtrack.
Some of them are now. Yeah. Some of the critics apparently. Yeah,
well, don't backtrack. We know how you feel, right? This is how you feel. You don't want Hollywood or anybody out there to make anything for us, for fans or for the casual viewer, right? You want all the stuff to be exclusive for, as I said, a certain group of people from different communities, and that's it, right? You want to exclude the people that actually made all of these IPs. That's our problem. And that's why as well fail.
Basically, they have an issue with any property actually catering to the inbuilt audience that it should have. They're always wanting to be either their club it caters to or this new audience we always hear bandied about. So it's just... But no, I do think, Daniel, I think certain people are starting to wise up in the industry. But the problem is there's so many people in the industry that, like Noel said, there's still big players which are not going to stop.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Look, eventually, right, we don't know if it's going to be a year, 2 years, maybe 10 years down the line. We don't know. But there will come a time where the Hollywood especially, Super Mario and stuff like that and all of these great movies that we talked about that are for fans. But here's the thing, right? They're for fans, right? But at the same time, those fans are like me, 40 odd years of age, that grew up with the original Mario franchise. They have kids, they're bringing their kids to see it. They've introduced a whole generation, or have already introduced their kids to Mario because I've bought them all the different Switch or yeah, exactly, right? So the thing about it is, right, even though these are exclusive, fans will get all the references. What you don't realize is that movies like this, when you bring people to see them, if they think that movie is enjoyable, trust me, you're creating new fans because they're going to go back. They're going to try seek out the games. They're going to learn everything about Mario. They're going to find the end. This is what it's all about. See, this is where you have got it wrong over the years, right? You are so consumed in trying to please a certain demographic in the audience that you're forgetting about the people that actually made all of these IPs in the first place, your customers, the fans, the ones that kept these going by reading the comic books, buying the merchandise and stuff like that. It's not a bad word to say it's okay to please the fans. If you make a good product, right, it doesn't matter. Not only fans will go and watch it, it's been proven. If Super Mario is smashing records and it has made the most money of any animation of anywhere, well, then you've got your answer, right? This appeals not just to fans, and this narrative that it's just fans that will go and watch this movie is a crock of crap. It was the same when Sonic was released.
Kids are watching this. I've heard multiple people talk about going to the cinema and having the whole foyer full of kids. Yeah. So it's very obvious what movie they're going for.
Yeah.
So, and of course, those parents would have probably grown up playing the games, the original Mario games, and they'll be looking forward to the movie as well. But you create new fans as well. That's how you create new fans. You don't pander to one group or another. You know what I mean? Or you just write a good bloody script, have great bloody characters, and a good plot, and people will watch. And this is why I've said, and I've always said, listen, all those critics have lost credibility. What you do is to judge, if you're going to judge a movie on Rotten Tomatoes, which a lot of people do, and I would say Rotten Tomatoes now has gone redundant, to be quite honest, but people still use Rotten Tomatoes apparently as the measurement, right, of whether they're going to watch a movie or not. Years ago, critics' scores and audience scores were similar, and you know that was a great movie, and you check it out, and it turned out to be, you would agree, there was consensus. Now it's different. You will see that the audience score and the critics' scores completely skewed. So when you see critics giving a movie a low score nowadays, I'm talking about, then that's a movie you go and watch. Because if you look over the other side, you'll see that the audience score is sky high, right? So you trust the audience over the critics, because the critics that they're talking about are like the ones that we were talking about. They're not really critics. They started their YouTube channels and became famous for some weird reason, and now they're the ones that are actually writing up reviews. And remember, some of these people on YouTube have ended up in big magazines. So this is what we're facing. This is the problem we're facing. So how do we answer the critics? We answer the critics by going and watching all of these things and making them look foolish time and time again. I just want to read this last comment about comic books, and then I know Charlotte wants to get in there. So Paul says, because he's someone new in the chat, hello, I lost with all these comic book franchise movies. How many times are they going to remake Batman, for instance? Yeah.
A lot. The problem is they do the same mistake. They always do the origin again and again and again. And everybody knows how Batman becomes Batman now. So you don't have to do the origin. I don't understand. Same with Superman. Same with other things. Why can't we just have a movie that starts when they're already being the superhero? And it's like they've done it for a couple of years, and you just start from that point.
Yeah.
It just boggles my mind why.
Yeah.
They just every superhero movie has to be the origin
I
at the
know.
beginning.
And if they're not doing the origin, it's got to be the origin of one of the villains, doesn't it?
Yeah, or you do what not JJ, sorry, or you do what Gunn is doing at the moment, where he's like,
Yeah.
it's not an origin. Yes, it is. Just
Yeah.
because we haven't got from him literally landing on Earth, it's an origin you're doing, Gunn. You just don't
Yeah.
want to use that word.
I know.
Oh.
Sick and tired of all the origin stories. I mean, for me, there's only two Batman franchise that I love. Obviously, the original with Michael Keaton, 89, and Returns. And I suppose the Batman Forever movie, I'll stick in there. But after that, forget about it. But the
See,
Dark
that,
Knight, go on.
I was gonna say, that's why I love the Arkham games.
Yeah,
Because there's no origin in those
yeah,
games. He's just Batman.
yeah,
And you play
exactly.
as Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, good games, by the way, if you haven't played them.
I mean, they don't even do it for these side characters. They just pop in the game for a bit. To be like,
Yeah,
oh, there's Nightwing. I don't need to know how he became Nightwing. It's just there's Nightwing.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. As I said, I think this whole genre is stale, but they're just going to keep making them. And as I said, some will be relatively successful, some will probably flop. But they still keep making them because, as Charlotte said, they don't learn. They don't
No.
learn their lessons. They keep making the same mistakes over and over, and then they wonder why that these movies lose money. And
Yeah.
instead of actually, criticizing the people that make these, they go then and attack the fans with the media's help, which is absolutely disgraceful. To be truthful, like, these movies are awful. I mean, when movie historians look over this period of time in
Yeah.
movies, I'm telling you, it's not going to look kindly upon it. There are a few gems over the years that have been made, but they're few and far between nowadays, unfortunately. But a lot of the stuff that we've gotten has been mediocre, and you have to really search and look for these movies now. And I mean, I put one on the other night, and I read the synopsis, and I thought, you know what, that actually sounds decent. I'll whack it on. I was like 20 minutes in, and I was like, oh my God, this is a pile of crap. The acting is so bad. What am I watching? And I just turned it off. And then I just went and I watched an old movie, and that was it. It's ridiculous. But Elliot did, as we've all said, there's a shoots of hope, optimism. But these projects that are successful, that do actually are done right, we should support and keep supporting them. As far as I'm concerned, you got to send a message to these critics and the people that are actually making this content, because if they see that fans are on board with it, they'll make more. And you see, I mean, Super Mario is, I agree, Charlotte, I think, said Super Mario rocked the
It
industry.
did.
I think this movie has rocked the industry, because I'll tell you why, just briefly. When I saw the trailer, I wasn't a fan of Chris Pratt's accent, I've got to be honest, but I still loved the trailer, and I thought this could be a great man. Then they did the little promos, and I don't know if you've been looking at the Jack Black stuff that he's been putting up on his TikTok and all, and stuff. Fucking hilarious, man. He is just, seriously, he has promoted this movie in ways that are just so hilarious, guys. You should check it out. I'm pretty sure someone on YouTube has gotten all the stuff together Jack Black has done.
But, and that's the other thing. I think they were so clever with who they did cast as the voice talent, because none of them, if you think about, like, Chris Pratt doesn't attack the fan base. Chris Pratt is lovely usually to the fan base in whatever he's in. You just said Jack Black's this constant enthusiasm, sort of lovely figure, and like, and I can't think of any of the actors or actresses that were coming out saying any rubbish in the lead up to this. So that's another thing that I think they were really clever about. They obviously picked people who were good at their jobs, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bit of, let's pick people who are not going to rock the boat.
Yeah, Yeah,
Because we all know which actors and actresses love to have a go, don't we? So, and we
yeah,
also know the good ones.
exactly. And Jack Black, just to let you know, did a Kelly Clarkson interview where he came out in a Bowser fucking costume, full Bowser costume, and she asked him, were you delighted when you were cast? And of course he's in the Bowser costume. Hell yeah! Giving it all this. I was like, oh my god, this is why. And then they were playing the games as well. They were playing Mario Kart as well. They've done a lot of promotion for this as well, which has went down well with fans. And as you said, if you've got likable characters, and I do like Jack Black, it's just a pity that some of the movies that are in have got bleeding awful over the years. But this is one that I know is not. I'm looking forward to seeing this. So here's another one by Paul. It's are they made because they have a guaranteed owner? They're probably being made because they probably think that it's guaranteed to make bank.
Mm.
And remember, everything by Hollywood, you would think, is driven to make money. That was the old model. The new model now, they don't want to make money apparently, and they can still survive.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but I think that's why we get so many of these IPs being rebooted and done over and over, is because they're kind of lazy now, and they rely on IPs that they know that. Look at if they tell us they're making another Batman movie, which they are, the Batman 2. I didn't even think that the first one was great as everybody made it out to be. I thought it was a pretty average movie, and I couldn't see half of it because the lighting was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, it was dark.
Right, too dark. But they're doing a sequel. I mean, I'll check it out. I mean, but again, it's a Batman movie, and people will, whether we like it or not, people will go and watch it. So they're using IPs that they know that will make them money. Now, the second one could be better than the first one. I highly doubt it, but Patterson wasn't as bad as we all thought he was going to be. I thought he was pretty decent Batman, but I don't know if I like the whole emo Batman look, to be quite honest with you personally. My favorite Batman trilogy is the Dark Knight trilogy. For me, it's the ultimate Batman trilogy. And I do like Michael Keaton's too, because I grew up with them. They're the ones that I actually grew up as a kid watching. In '89, I was 10 years of age. So, and then obviously Batman Returns came out in 1992, maybe, if I'm correct, maybe one. I'm not sure. Something around that time, and I actually went to the cinema to see that one, and there was huge hype over that. But my two favorite are those two movies and the Dark Knight trilogy. Even though the third movie kind of gets wrapped up in itself, it's still a solid movie, and I don't think that trilogy will ever be matched again, to be quite honest with you. The woke trend, they kind of do like to insert it into all the stuff now. Like, see, here's the thing: we've said on the panel, we don't care if they make that sort of stuff, but don't be using established IPs to do it.
Exactly. Don't hijack someone else's work.
Create new IPs. Again, it's just laziness from Hollywood. You know, it's laziness from the BBC when they changed the gender of the Doctor. It's just lazy.
Yeah.
There's no creativity. They're creatively bankrupt now. Leland has a comment there. Let me see. If you have a phone in later on in the week, I'd like to join in, assuming I have anything worthwhile to say about the topics. Well, we don't do phone-ins anymore, but if you want to come onto the panel, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to show your face on camera. You're more than welcome.
I'm the only silly one who does that, Leyland.
Well, I've been kind of trying to use my camera a lot, but it's my Chromebook. It keeps cutting out and it's a pain in the ass as well, and everything freezes up. But I have used the a few times, so I haven't hid. People know what I look like, so it's not. But Charlotte does all the time. Yeah. So you asked the question earlier, Charlotte, about the likes and the dislikes. So it has 2,000
Oh,
likes and
that's worse than
10,000.
it was when I looked
Oh,
then.
Oh, dear.
ouch! Wow,
That's why
8,000
I
difference.
honestly think the best thing is just to ignore this movie when it comes out.
See, this is the thing, though, right? And they're not going to ignore it, right? Yeah, you can already tell. I've seen the comments on Twitter. Oh, I can't wait to watch this movie, and others saying, "Oh, this is going to be a shit show" and stuff like that. These people are just going to watch it because they know
Oh yeah,
it's going to be
the
rubbish.
fan. But I just think, like, I watched that trailer and I could tell it was aimed at a female audience, and even I thought it was terrible.
See, I think we've gotten into a bit of a vicious circle here. See,
Yeah.
logically, the best thing to do would be to ignore this now after seeing the trailer and not actually, highlight it on YouTube or on social media and just let the people that apparently support this movie talk about it. Because I guarantee you, once it comes to being released, nobody's going to go and watch it anyway. But see, the vicious circle here is the more people that hate on this, the more people that will just go and watch it out of spite, even if they don't want to watch the movie, they'll go with their partner or whatever just to, boost those ticket sales up. Because trust me, they go to those lengths. Remember, in the Doctor Who fandom, they go to iPlayer, boost the numbers up. They go in and boost up the reviews of the Jodie Whittaker era, right? So it's something they do. They'll do the same. It was like when Sonic the Hedgehog came out and Birds of Prey hadn't even come out yet, right? Birds of Prey wasn't even out yet, and someone says, "Oh, I'm bringing me." I walked out of Sonic the Hedgehog because it was misogynistic, and I'm bringing me husband and me son to go and see Birds of Prey, and everybody was like, "Birds of Prey is not out yet," and then similar comments were going around. See, they all work with each other. Similar comments then up people saying the same thing. Listen, if we actually ignore this movie will do worse than what it's already going to do. But the fact that people are just going to watch it, hate on it, do 20 odd videos on it, they're actually going to see. This is the vicious circle we're in. They will probably add more money onto that movie because of their criticism, rather if we just ignored it, right? Then Hollywood said, "Oh, they're not talking about," because remember, in their eyes, whether it's good or bad criticism, you're still keeping that movie in the public domain.
Yeah, it's like the news about Lord of the Rings, that Amazon show.
Oh, that failure,
This week, we somebody actually talked and said, no, I think it was less than a third of people actually watched the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
And that just shows because people weren't really talking about it. Like, I know when the first episode came out, there was a few reviews and there was a few people saying it was bad, but it wasn't like a week and week coverage of it. Even I noticed that, and now we actually know how bad the viewing figures were. So that shows what you're saying, Noel, basically, because that didn't get a lot of hate coverage, as well as being a bad product. That also was a major factor, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it's the mistake we made in the Doctor Who fandom. I mean, if we had have ignored it, but then just done our reviews when it came out, rather than do all the other videos talking about how disgraceful it was, I think that era Doctor Who probably would have done a lot more worse. But we felt like we had to speak up. But this time round, it has to be different. I do really think it is a vicious circle. I think what YouTubers should do is change tact, but who am I to tell them? But the tactic should be is that we should only comment on the good stuff that Hollywood making it, and then they'll be looking at themselves, say, "Hang on a minute, why aren't they talking about our franchise, our product?" Right? And then like the movies will bomb even worse. Right, so they'll have to change tact. We got to somehow force them to go back to making movies again and TV shows that are actually interesting with decent characters and plots. And the only way I think we can do that is if there was a general consensus by everybody that does social media that we comment on all the good that Hollywood does, ignore the crap, and then they'll be wondering what's going on here because we're not talking about it anymore. And I'm telling you, a lot more of these franchises. I mean, Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars. These new 3 movies that come out are going to make money. What's going to help is the fact that all of these YouTubers are going to be hammering this movie until the Force movie comes out. Now they're going to be hammering this now up until the release of the Force movie. Then they'll go and watch it, and then they'll do 20 odd more videos, and then that cycle will continue to the second movie, and then the third movie, and so on, and then they'll be talking about it for years then after.
See, I don't know about Star Wars because I'm seeing the apathy is so strong in that fandom. Yeah. It's so strong that I think, yes, you will get the people who are always going to comment. But I just think those movies, they'll make money. Like, I agree with you, but I just think people had a bit of hope, and now after seeing that celebration, it's just gone back to complete and utter apathy.
Listen, when you have an actor and an actress come out, and the actress comes out and says, well, we're going to rectify the fact that this has been a patriarchy, right, basically, and we're going to basically woman it up, right? And then you have the actor coming out then saying, well, the best thing about this show, the best thing about this franchise is there is no good and evil. Like, that's the whole basis of this.
That's the Empire and the Jedi.
Yeah. Have you buried your head in the sand or something? So when you've even got the actors and actresses that are clueless, along with the showrunners that are writing all these shows, right? You're done. You're done. But the thing about it is, if we stop talking about them, and logically we should, but again, a lot of the bigger channels will take a massive hit on their profits. And let's be honest, they care more about their profits now, some of them, than they do actually about reporting on stuff. They're just as bad as critics in my eyes. And I like the Batman. Not the best Batman film, but I thought it was very good. I just couldn't fucking see it, mate. I'm being honest. I'm not lying.
No, that's an issue across the board. Hollywood is just.
I couldn't see it. It probably was. Look, as I said, I don't think Robert Pattinson was bad as Batman. To be quite honest, I don't like the emo kind of look going, but other than that, he was actually a decent Batman. I'm not. I mean, that scene, the fighting scene that we saw in the trailer, and everybody thought, "Oh, Jesus, maybe he is good as Batman." When that scene actually came up in the movie, it was actually brilliant, and I thought, "Wow, actually, yeah, I dig him as Batman. He could do it." But the movie to me was just completely. I couldn't see it. I just couldn't see it. I thought Colin Farrell was great in it as well. I mean, I just couldn't see it. If they brighten the movie up for the DVD and the Blu-ray releases, all well and good, because I think they need to do something with the lighting. But it was awful, man.
Yeah, it was awful.
To be quite honest with you, the story wasn't really that amazing. I mean, it was an okay story. I mean, let's hope they do better for the second one. That's all I'm saying. Look, I'll watch the second one. You know, all I'm just saying is just, I do think the Batman has problems, and I think it's being overhyped. I think it's an okay movie. I don't think it's better than any of the Christian Bale movies, which some fans have made it out to be. There's no way that Batman movie is better than The Dark Knight Rises or even Batman Begins. And I know that The Dark Knight Rises has its problems, right? But it's still a better movie. I'm sorry. And come here, the greatest Batman movie ever made, obviously The Dark Knight. I mean, come on. No. It was a good movie. It was all right. I'd like to see a second one, but me personally, they need to step it up a gear for the second one, right? They need to really go all out now for the second one, in my opinion. I am running over a little bit of time, but you know what? We'll give it another, as I said to the guys in the private chat there, we'll go for another 10 minutes, but I have to fly off then. So in, what will it be, 7:45?
Yeah, so quarter to.
Yeah, so what we'll do is, because I have done most of the talking, we'll see if you guys have anything that you want to, is there any topics or anything that's happening that you want to bring up?
Well, I'm not watching anything currently. I've got some stuff that's going to come, which I'm excited for. I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm excited for it.
What's that?
Which is basically on Netflix, they're doing a big Power Ranger reunion.
Hang on, right? Listen, I'm going to tell you something about that, right? My little brother grew up with those movies, so I had to endure those Power Ranger movies. But you know
The
what?
movies were bad, to be fair.
No. To be fair, though, right? They were exactly what they were supposed to be, and you know what? In some weird, strange way, they were decent. I'm glad they're kind of doing a reunion. There's fans of the Power Rangers. It was a big deal back in the day.
But that's the thing. There's a massive thing for Mighty Morphin, and that's what it is. Because they've got certain actors that haven't come back, I don't think, since the 90s. Like, because it's usually people who know the Power Rangers fandom, there's certain Ranger actors that come back a lot. So when we see them, we sort of roll our eyes a bit now. Whereas here you've got some of the originals who haven't. So it's actually quite, like, there's an actual novelty to seeing some of these actors back in the suit. And I like the fact that usually what they do for anniversaries, they try and cram it into a normal episode, which is about half an hour if you're lucky. So it's usually always this big old story they're trying to do, but they haven't got the time to do it. So I like the fact that it's its own separate thing on Netflix. It's its own special. So, and it just looks fun, and that's what I'm talking about. It looks like it knows what it needs to be. It looks fun. It looks a bit funny, like the fact that
what the Power Rangers is. It is a bit naff and a bit funny and a bit daft. So if it's not that, then it's not the Power Rangers.
The fact that the villain is a robot version of Rita, who was from Mighty Morphin, and she has the voice really similar to the original actress.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, yeah, of course. But even with that, they've even done some touching stuff, it looks like, because the original Yellow Ranger actress died quite a while ago. But what they've done, they've cast somebody to be her daughter in the story. So you've got Trini's daughter being the Yellow Ranger, and I'm like, that's really sweet. So that's what I mean. It's even got, looks like they might have a bit of heart to this, and that's what Power Rangers also is.
It does. Heart. Yeah, it does.
That's out, I think, next week. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I hope it goes well for you, because, I'm pretty sure my little brother now, who's married and has a couple of kids, I'm pretty sure he will definitely watch that movie, because he was a fan of the movies, and there was a TV show, if I'm right. I don't know, man.
It was a TV show first, and then they got some movies.
Yeah, they got a couple of movies. Yeah, interesting. You did ask this in the last chat, and obviously we were talking about different stuff on that, but I'll answer it here. I haven't seen the trailer for Wes Anderson's Asteroid City, but I will go and check it out, and then the next time I'm on, I'll let you know what I thought of it. So I'll check it out. I will. So thank you for that recommendation. PD, before we wrap up tonight, we got a couple of more minutes left. Is there anything you would like to?
No, I'm just looking forward to. Yeah, I know what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to say Picard season 3 all the way. There's not really anything at the moment on our horizons, but I'm just waiting for it tomorrow night to start the episode 9. To tell the honest truth.
Yeah. I can't wait for Picard myself now.
But, even its bad episodes are good. Let's just say that.
Yeah. But got to be honest with you though, there's a show returning for a second season that I'm actually looking forward to, and that's from. I've brought it up a couple of times here on the channel. That returns now for season 2, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. I really enjoyed the 4th season, and it was well written, great characters, bit of mystery, bit of scary stuff going on. It really is a great
Yeah.
show. If you're into kind of Stephen King and Wes Craven and John Carpenter, and let's say a bit of Lost mixed in there, that's the type of show you're going to get. It's from one of the writers of Lost. I think the first couple of seasons.
The one that walked out.
Lost? Yeah, him.
The good seasons.
Yeah, the good seasons. So it's very well written. It ended on a bit of a cliffhanger as well, just to say it was a great show. So that's called From. So if you can check it out wherever you are, I would highly recommend that show. But I tell you what, we will leave it there because, as I said, I'm actually a couple of minutes behind. But I'm going to have to fly off straight away, folks. So I won't be hanging around, just to let you know, on the panel.
Yep.
Okay.
Not tonight, but obviously next time we stream, obviously, you know me, I'll always look for a bit of a chat afterwards. So we'll do that. So we'll do channel shout outs. But look, I want to thank everybody for joining me in the chat. Obviously, this is the first of these streams. So next week we'll come a little bit more prepared because we'll have a week to think about what we want to actually talk about and stuff that we want to highlight and stuff like that. And if you guys have any questions and stuff like that, or anything you would like to highlight, or anything you want us to check out, you know what to do, folks. Let us know in the chat. So I want to thank all my guests for joining us on the panel, and also I want to thank everybody in the chat. But we'll do channel shout outs now, and we will start with PD.
Okay, you can normally find me in the chat on Rabbi's channel. I'm not there at the moment because I'm here. So I'll be over there after this. This is all wrapped up. So see you there.
There you go. So go over there, and you'll catch PD there on Rabbi's channel, and it's Queen Charlotte next.
Yep, so you'll catch me on the space, but we're on a little mini break. But I'll be popping up if Dan does extra shows that he wants me to be on, or anything else. And another plug to my lovely co-host and best mate Daniel, because for whenever he wants to do his videos, whether that's wrestling or whatever he wants to. So that's Daniel's channel.
Fantastic. Go and check out his channel there. Scottish Davros and Friends Wrestle with Pop Culture. Jordan Jackrabbit was a channel that I forgot to mention earlier on. Go and check out his channel. Oh, I did. I brought it up. What am I saying?
Yeah, you did.
But go and check. Yeah, I know. A Gobby Guys channel, of course, as we said. And as Charlotte said there, Type 40. Also, who else? We're forgetting a couple of people as well. I know we are. I can't think offhand who else we're forgetting. But check out the channels that PD is throwing in the chat. And there might be a new Facebook Live, as there is an upcoming announcement coming from Doctor Who. Yeah, that's on the 21st. The 21st. So we're at the hold on. It's only the 24th. So it's only the 12th. So on Blue Peter, Blue Peter from 5 p.m. onwards, apparently there's going to be some exciting Doctor Who news.
That's Friday.
And that's what they've said, by the way.
Well, here's the thing: it's on Blue Peter, so hopefully, folks, it's not going to be something too controversial.
So it's either a full trailer, so a guest, and maybe a full trailer reveal for the 60th, or it's the announcement of obviously the Doctor Who style confidential show that was that David Tennant talked about and has been reported on. Of course, we did speak about that on this channel. We did the stream earlier on today. We spoke about Doctor Who Confidential maybe coming back. It might have a new name, but there you go. I even said BBC Three, but BBC Three is back.
Or it could be a proper announcement of a spin-off. The first official spin-off announcement we get.
It could be in a spin-off as well. Yeah, it could be that as well. It could be a new look at the TARDIS interior. It could be a number of things. We just don't know. But we will go live on Friday. As I said, we normally do Friday night. Not Friday night. We always do the TARDIS Zone Talks. So what I'll do is I'll go live at 5 and hope that they make the announcement. But Blue Peter normally tells you what's coming up and what time they announce, so they might actually give us a time.
They might,
when,
yeah.
Right, so if they do, I'll go live 5 minutes before the announcement, see what it is, and we'll react to it live. Christian might be here, and then we obviously, because it is going to be announcement, if we have people in the chat, or you guys that are here, these are in the chat, you can come on as special guests and talk about it, because obviously it will be some sort of an announcement. So we'll see what it is. It could be a kid's spin-off as well.
I think Russell said he's not going to do any of those recently.
Yeah, that's what
So
he
that's
says.
what I mean.
But,
Like I said, because it's Blue Peter, hopefully this is going to be a bit more for
RTD
the family
lies.
audience. Yeah.
RTD lies.
Yeah.
Trust me, just like Moffat used to say, right? Doctor lies. They all lie, those writers, right?
Yeah.
But you're probably right. Look, whatever it is, we'll be here for it. It'll be interesting to see what it is. After the recent announcements, it better be something amazing, because I don't know. Oh man, if it's something to do with Doomsday, I can't.
Doomsday,
Just don't even go there with me, garbage man. Jesus Christ, man! Why did you have to put that out in the universe?
Yeah.
Seriously, man. Why? We're thinking Doctor Who now. You're just at the Brit. Oh Jesus! Why? What? Why? Why did you put that out? Oh,
Doomsday, yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave it there before we get. Yeah. Okay. Well. There he is with his LOL. Well, you could take your LOL somewhere else. Why did you put that out in the universe? How dare you? How dare you? Anyway, we'll see what it is. Hopefully it's David Tennant and Catherine Tate, and it's a first look proper trailer.
That'd be nice.
with those two talking and being interviewed. That's what I would love to see next. Personally, that's what I would love to see on Blue Peter. But it could be something completely different. But that's what I would like to see, because they are the ones that are coming up next for Doctor Who. So it would be nice to see an interview with the two of them, and then them actually there while the proper trailer is released for the 60th anniversary, and then it'll be all. We'll see what happens then. We can react to the trailer and stuff and the interview, see if they give that away, which David Tennant already has. So he obviously can't keep his mouth closed. So, yeah, can't wait. Right, folks. What day is it today? I've lost all track of reality.
Wednesday.
So it's Wednesday. So we're back tomorrow for a member stream. So come and join me. If you're a member, it's Friday night contact, the preview stream, where I'll be giving you my opinion on some of the stuff that we're going to be covering. Obviously, you will hear the lads' opinions on it on Friday, and some of the other topics that we'll be covering. I'll be just covering some of the stuff on the preview stream that I'm actually interested in and want to give an opinion on. So if you're a member, come and join me. If you're not, consider becoming a member. There are two tariffs there. Go and check them out. We will get all the emojis and all of that sorted out. Obviously, Lee has been very busy lately because he's got other work that's top priority at the moment. But we will get around to all of that sooner rather than later. But as I said, Lee is really up to his eyeballs at the moment with work. So yeah, so we'll get that sorted. But if you want to become a member, there are two tariffs there. Go and check it out and come and join me tomorrow at 7, is it? 7, 8?
Put the banner back up and then remind yourself.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Damn, see, because we got a bit derailed this week. So it's 7. No, I don't have a oh my god, did I just mess that up? I didn't. Oh, okay. Right. All right, we do the member stream at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Yeah, because it was originally 8 o'clock. So I'll do it at 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock. I don't even know what I'm talking about now. The preview stream, 8 o'clock Thursday. There you go. I have to fix that banner. I can't believe that banner has been going up wrong. Why didn't anybody tell me? It literally has Thursday, nothing in the Thursday space, and then goes straight into Friday.
I don't know.
It's your banner.
I know.
You
I
made
messed
it, buddy.
up.
You made it.
I messed it up. Oh no, because we switched things because I'm an idiot. Yeah. I'll fix it. The banner will be fixed for the next stream. So if the banner's been up and giving you a bit of confusion, I do apologise. So 8 o'clock Thursday, join me, and then at 5:45 on Friday for the Noelzone talks, and then at 9 o'clock with myself, Lee, and Cultivated Media, aka Ballstrek, will be here on Friday, and we'll be delving into all things Hollywood and all of that. And we've got a great video to show you on Friday as well, with a BBC reporter and Elon Musk. And this is pure gold. Elon Musk asks a BBC journalist to show him evidence that there's more hate speech on Twitter, and it's glorious. It's glorious because, again, as I said, journalists don't go in prepared anymore. They think they can just wing it, and this journalist just got wrecked. And I'll be showing you that full video because Elon has put it up for everybody to see as well. So we will show you that video on Friday as well, because BBC really are, they've lost the plot. And we don't normally talk about BBC on Friday, but we are, because they've made a few comments lately as well, which doesn't bode well for how the organisation is run. So we're going to talk a little bit about that on Friday. So we don't normally focus on BBC, and it won't be the main focus, but we will be bringing it up on Friday. So come and join us for that video as well. We got plenty coming up, and I will say good night now, and we will talk to you very soon. And thanks everybody again in the chat for supporting the channel and supporting all of our friends as well. We really do appreciate it. And we will talk to you tomorrow for the members, and for the rest of us, we will see you on Friday. I might actually do, though, I have been kind of doing little Twitter streams. So if you're on Twitter, I might do one tomorrow, because I like to go on and have a bit of a rant on Twitter. So if you want a Twitter one, there might be one tomorrow. So look out for that. I'll let you know anyway. Right. See you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.